What does your brand say about you before you even open your mouth? It's way more than just your resume or your LinkedIn profile. It's this visual statement that honestly speaks volumes. Today, we're going to break down an expert analysis that shows exactly why what you wear is such a huge part of your professional story. So, let me just ask you this straight up. If you walked into a really important meeting right now, what story would your clothes, your whole look tell about you? Is it the story you want to be telling? That's really the core question we're digging into today. So, we're pulling from an expert we'll just call Dr. D, who makes this really bold claim. Your visual presentation, it isn't just some final detail, it's one of the most critical, most influential parts of your personal brand. And look, this isn't about being a fashionista, it's about being strategic in how you communicate. To really see what this looks like, we're going to dive into Dr. D's professional critique of two different speakers, Lauren and Michelle. By looking at these real-world examples, we can see exactly how all these principles actually play out. Okay, first up, we have Lauren. Dr. D gives us a super detailed breakdown of her visual presentation, and she points out what works, what doesn't, and, this is the key part, why. Let's see what we can learn here. Now, what's so interesting here is just how specific this feedback is. Dr. D notes that Lauren's hair is kind of overwhelming her face, the jacket doesn't quite fit right, it's a little bulky, and the high-necked blouse comes across as, quote, matronly. But hey, it's not all bad news. The one thing Lauren absolutely nails, and it's a big deal, is her use of color. It just seems to fit her personality perfectly.
So the huge takeaway for Lauren is all about authenticity, right? Even though some of the execution is a little flawed, the fit, the styling, her core visual choices feel like an honest reflection of who she is. And that's a really important difference. Keep that in mind as we switch gears.
All right, let's turn our attention now to our second speaker, Michelle. As you're about to see, her challenges with visual branding are totally different from Lauren's, which gives us another really important piece of this whole personal presentation puzzle. Dr. D's critique of Michelle is, well, pretty blunt. The overall look is called very bland. The hairstyle, heavy and dated. The all-black suit is just overpowering. And the boots, well, Dr. D just says, oh, those boots, they need to go. But the most critical point here is the mismatch. She's dressed in this really somber way for an audience of sales professionals who are probably expecting a lot more energy. Wow, this quote from Dr. D is so vivid, and it just gets right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It highlights this complete and total disconnect between Michelle's appearance and the situation she's in, sending a really powerful, though probably unintentional, message to her audience. So for Michelle, the big insight is that her visual brand actually seems to be holding her back. See the difference? Where Lauren's look reflected her personality, Michelle's seems to be constraining it, creating this kind of visual wall between her and the audience. Okay, so we've got two different speakers with two very different problems. One is about flawed execution, the other is about a feeling of inauthenticity. So now let's see what Dr. D's final diagnosis is and what it all means for us. The conclusion couldn't be clearer. Despite their different issues, Dr. D concludes that neither Lauren nor Michelle is effectively using their visual brand. Plain and simple. Both of them are missing a massive opportunity to connect with and influence their audience. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. You've got these two paths to the exact same problem. For Lauren, her look is authentic, but it's just poorly executed. For Michelle, the look might be more professional on the surface, but it feels inauthentic. It constrains her instead of expressing who she is. That's a fantastic distinction to think about for our own brand. So if they're both missing the mark, what's the fix? How do you solve such different problems? Well, Dr. D suggests a way forward that's incredibly powerful, and it's something all of us can use. Understanding and strategically using the power of color. And that brings us to this amazing field of color psychology. The idea is that the colors we wear are never really random. A splash of red can signal confidence and power, while a nice, calm blue can help build trust. For someone like Michelle, just a little pop of color could have completely changed the energy in that room. And for Lauren, just refining her color choices could take her authentic brand from pretty good to absolutely great. And here's the actionable advice, the stuff you can actually do. Dr. D recommends a two-step process. First, in-depth image consulting. And that's not just a makeover, okay? It's about figuring out your goals and then building a visual identity to match them. And second, specific training in color psychology, so you can stop picking colors by accident and start using them like a strategic tool to create the exact impact you want. At the end of the day, this all comes down to one simple word: intentionality. Your visual brand is always telling a story, whether you like it or not. The key is to go from being a passive character in that story to being its active author, making sure your appearance communicates exactly what you mean it to. So we end right back where we started, but hopefully with a totally new perspective. Take another look right now. What story is your visual brand telling about you? And maybe more importantly, is it time for you to become a more intentional author of that story?